Well, well, well. Another brutal stabbing in Ireland. Would you look at that? Ireland is turning into this liberal woke shithole that England is, and it's disgusting to see. We have two news stories today. Welcome back to County Gains News Network. Okay, this one is, we're going to starting off with, is a shocking incident in Cavan, of all places. Cavan, not really a place you'd think that there'd be any violent offenders or anything like that. But now in this new 2025 world we live in, you know, anywhere in Ireland can be the subject to mass murder and crazy shit that's going on, serial killings, stabbings. So this one is a driver with no insurance, no tax, and no NCT tried to run over and run down a Gardaí checkpoint, okay, assaulting two officers and failed a breathalyzer test. So basically, the guy thinks he's in a Grand Theft Auto video game simulation, okay? Except there's no video game, it's real life. One Gardaí was hospitalized, and just insane, guys, okay? Just insane. Basically, they're saying that this guy wasn't from here. I'm not sure exactly what, they didn't put out any sort of, relevant information about the guy. But let's see what the hell is going on here. So it looks like two Gardaí apprehended him. They're lying on top of him. Absolutely insane. So, checkpoints are pretty much mandatory in Ireland. You should be stopping for checkpoints, especially if you guys have nothing to hide. I know a lot of people are like, oh man, the checkpoints are flipping, destroying my sort of, freedom in this world. But the checkpoints are only to stop for people that are drinking and driving. It does protect people to a certain extent, So it said last night, two Gardaí members are conducting a checkpoint in Cross Keys, Ballyjames-Duff, County Cavan, when a vehicle approached the checkpoint at speed. So he was approaching it really fast. He wasn't slowing down. He saw the checkpoint and he didn't slow down for it, okay? He crossed over to the wrong side of the road and ran and tried to run over a Gardaí member. And actually did run over a Garda member because he ended up in hospital, okay? And this is the actual Garda Síochána page putting this up, so we know it's not bullshit. Luckily, the guard was able to get out the way in time. Luckily, thank God. I don't want to see anyone get hurt in the line of duty. I don't want to see any Gardaí get hurt. That's horrendous how people would be trying to advocate for that or something like that. The vehicle drove in the direction of Cavan town and failed to stop for Gardaí. So the vehicle was intercepted on the Ballina Road in Cavan town. The driver of the vehicle arrested and he was assaulted two Garda members before he could be attained. So yeah, he's in a Grand Theft Auto lobby, okay? He hopped out the car after running people over, no tax, no insurance, no NCT, and then he started fighting with people. And he actually beat the shit out of two Gardaí members. I mean, this is the shit. Like, what? I have never heard this. Guys, you tell me 20 years ago in Ireland, I would have never heard of this. When I was a kid, there was no shit like this. This was insane. This is insane. This is like proper Grand Theft Auto. This sounds like flipping somewhere, in America, one of those like crazy shootings and one of those crazy, guys, high-speed pursuit type of shit. Like, this is insane. So one Garda was brought to Cavan General Hospital by an ambulance and has been released with non-serious injuries. The driver also failed the roadside breathalyzer, so he's also drunk as a skunk. Absolutely insane, guys. So the second story, more sinister, guys. The Gardaí launched an investigation into a man who was stabbed to death, okay, in his 30s in Youghal, County Cork. I've never been to Cork, so I apologize if I pronounce that name correctly. I think that's how you pronounce that one. But much love to Cork. Beautiful place. Michael Collins, I would say probably the real capital, let's be honest, with all the sort of, revolutionary stuff coming out of there back in the old day, back in the 1916. But yeah, this is insane, guys. Again, what do we know, guys? Another stabbing in the country, this is like the 10th stabbing in the last 12 weeks. I mean, this is unheard of, guys. We never had stabbings ever in Ireland. All of a sudden, 2025, there's stabbings every single week. I mean, it's actually even hard to keep up with. There was stabbings in Parnell Square. Babatunde got stabbed to death. There were so many stabbings. Now, luckily, not, you don't die every time you get stabbed. It's actually quite hard to kill somebody when you stab somebody, fortunately. But this guy actually ended up dying in the hospital. So we're about to hear this report. Virgin Media News, okay, which, guys, put on your glasses, okay? If you guys are watching the mainstream media, you know what you have to do, just like they do in They Live. Put on your glasses, guys, all right? And understand that we notice the bullshit and the lies. Okay, let's hear it.
Well, as you come to us this lunchtime, you can probably see behind me here that 2 scenes remain sealed off as part of this investigation. And what you're seeing behind me here is an apartment building, and just further down the street is a pub. Local reports suggest that the man was seen calling out for help in difficulty. That man was then transferred to Cork University Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. So clearly a very...
So he didn't die on the spot, guys. They hit him in the spleen. You know, they hit him somewhere that's vital organs, his liver. If you get hit in the liver or the spleen or something like that, you know, it's game over, you know, if you get stabbed, unfortunately. So, you know, if you get hit in the arms and stuff, your legs, you know, you'll probably survive. Even your neck, you can get hit in the neck, and you know, because you have lots of muscle there. Your head, you can get hit in the head, nothing too much bad. But anywhere in your vital organs, I mean, that's game over, guys.
Upsetting scene for the people here of Youghal. I'm joined tonight this lunchtime, Colette, by local councillor Patrick Mulcahy from Fianna Fáil. Patrick, this is very difficult for people to wake up to today.
Yeah, absolutely, Zara. And look, the people of Youghal are very much deeply disturbed by last night's violent events. And look, my sympathies and express my thoughts to both the emergency services who had to deal with the incident last night and this morning. And at this lunchtime, I'd like to express my sympathies to the family of the deceased as well.
There will have been some witnesses, clearly. You know, this was a busy area at that time. Would it be busy on a night time like that?
Generally not. To be fair, the town of Youghal, Zara, would actually be a quite peaceful and tranquil town during midweek, and would be...
A tranquil retreat, some would say, has now been turned into a bloodbath. Scary stuff.
Generally quiet enough on a Monday evening. This would be a sociable town, and I suppose, look, there's a lot of shock within the town this morning regarding the incident of last night, which is very, very unusual for the area here.
Councillor Patrick Mulcahy, thank you for joining us on the news at 12:30. So, Colette, a man in his 20s has been arrested and is being questioned at Middleton Garda Station this lunchtime. Also, Colette, the Garda technical team have been notified and will conduct their inquiries, and also a post-mortem is due to take place, which will determine the course of this investigation.
Very unusual for this part of the town, for this town. I don't know, guys. You know, they don't release a picture of the guy for some reason. They said a man in his 20s was arrested. I don't know if they do that for security reasons or whatnot, but you know, they give us no background onto what the hell is actually going on. So we have Virgin Media here again. Okay, they continue to question people in relation to the fatal assault in Youghal in County Cork. Cork now being, you know, like I said, very big place. Micheál Martin wants to double the population there to 350,000. Oh man, what a disaster. Let's hear about this, guys.
Areas sealed off by Gardaí and Youghal today following a fatal stabbing last night. Gardaí and emergency services were alerted to an assault at a premises on North Street just before 10 o'clock. Local reports suggest a man was seen on the street, injured and calling for help. Emergency services arrived at the scene and the man was transferred to hospital. An apartment building and a pub, both on Main Street, were then cordoned off by Gardaí following the violent incident that's left locals reeling.
On a Monday night, this would be generally a quite tranquil side of town.
Monday night? That's insane, man. That's great.
Generally, the community is a peaceful town at most, and I suppose this is very much a disturbing thought that something like this would happen here in Youghal.
The injured man in his 30s was transferred to Cork University Hospital for treatment, but was later pronounced dead. He was believed to be from Cork and living in Youghal for some time.
You know, we did hear the sirens because I just live very close to the shop here last night, so I knew there was something wrong, you know. But it's upsetting for the town, you know, and obviously we're thinking of the family and also of the guards and the emergency services that dealt with that, you know, last night and this morning, you know.
A man in his 20s has since been arrested and is currently detained at Middleton Garda Station. Gardaí say a number of scenes are being preserved for forensic examination. Investigations are ongoing, Gardaí say, but they are appealing for anyone with information about the incident to come forward and contact Middleton Garda Station, the Garda Confidential Line, or any Garda station. Caroline.
You know, the crazy thing about that is, like, I always look at these stories and I'm like, damn, man, you know, the people of Youghal, okay, Cork, are very relaxed. You know, it's like, this wasn't a gang stabbing, you know, this wasn't anything to do with that, presumably. I mean, I don't know if there's many gangs rolling around Cork, I don't think so. You know, Dublin is mainly the hub of gang activity. But the crazy thing is, like, okay, you have this guy that gets randomly stabbed, let's say, because there's a Gardaí probe. They don't know what the hell happened, okay, yet, to Daniel O'Sullivan, R.I.P. But it's like, the people are very relaxed. You know, this lady's like, yeah, you know, it's kind of upsetting. She seemed upset, but not that upset. Like, some guy just got stabbed outside your house. Like, some guy just got murdered outside your house, outside your flipping establishment, your business, and everyone's just relaxed. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, I'd be like, let me get a gun, let me get something to protect myself, because, or try something, I don't know, like, is there no means for protection in Ireland? We just let people stab each other and that's it, like? I don't know, I think it's insane, guys. So, Gardaí launched murder probe after fatal stabbing of Cork man, previously convicted of manslaughter. Okay, so this guy actually had been convicted of manslaughter of the French national in 2015, okay? And Irish Independent are bastards, so they won't let me read the news story. But he was previously convicted in a different country for manslaughter. So maybe it's something to do with that, like. Here we go. The accused, Rhys Keogh, is to receive a medical and psychiatric assessment in Cork prison. So like I said, he's an Irish guy as well, okay? I didn't doubt that he was Irish or whatever, you know. Could be whatever. But I'm saying that the general violence nowadays has gone through the roof. I think it's because people are poor as well. People are poor as shit, guys. Like, there's a massive recession coming. Nobody has anything. It's insane. So Rhys Keogh, who lives in Cork as well, was brought before the court, and he was given no bail. Okay? He wore black trainers, grey sweatsuit, and light mustard-colored round necktie jumper, okay, and did not speak in front of the court. So he gave evidence, and he said that he was charged at 3 a.m., so it was very late at night. And this is my whole calling to the Irish people. You know, the sin lives after dark, okay? The bad shit that happens in the world lives at nighttime, okay? Temptation happens at nighttime as well. So don't leave your house past like 12 or 2 o'clock, guys, okay? Try and be home early enough, because bad shit happens after 2 o'clock. He also wrote that he was in need of psychiatric services, and prison was made aware of that. I don't understand. Like, in our country, in Ireland, our country, every time someone gets arrested for stabbing or some crazy shit, they're always like, he needs psychiatric help. No, he doesn't. Like, this is bullshit. It's like a cop-out. They're feigning responsibility. He needs to be locked up forever because he's a scumbag. I don't understand. These people have such remorse. It's unreal. So, Mr. O'Sullivan, who was originally from Mallow, had been living in Youghal for 7 months, died in Cork Hospital University, and he led a troubled life with addiction, homelessness for most of his life, and was jailed in 2016 for manslaughter. And court was told in 2021 that he had a great potential if he could address his addiction, but did not avail of offers to help. So yeah, really, really sad, guys. It's awful to see a fellow Irish man stab another fellow Irish man over probably some bullshit. Let's be honest, guys. You know, it's probably some, you know, broke bullshit. Oh, I have no money. Give me some money. You owe me money, maybe. And then boom, hits him with the dagger. You know, absolutely crazy, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. I just think, man, like, the stabbings are out of control. We've had legit minimum 10 stabbings since the beginning of the year, and a few deaths, a few murders. That's I mean, it is murder, guys. That's, you know, people are like, oh, we've had some deaths. No. We've had murders, you idiots. Okay, this doesn't happen by accident. Absolutely insane. Let me know your thoughts. I love you all. Stay free. If you want to support me, hit the link underneath the video, hit the join, become a member, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.